Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. My name is Melinda. I'm going to do this video for the second time because the first one was just a comedy of errors. Anyway, we're going to talk some devices right now. I'm on Threads a lot. I'm on some Facebook groups, and a question I see a lot is, what kind of e-reader should I get? Now, I'm talking about e-reader specifically. Yes, you can get an e-reader app to read on your tablet or phone. That's perfectly fine if that works for you. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like to read on my phone, and I like e-readers because they are lighter than tablets. Holding up a tablet gets heavy after a while. So I'm talking e-readers. The two big ones, I know there's like some other ones that have come out, but the two big ones are basically your Kindles and your Kobos. And I am someone who uses both. I have had this Kindle Paperwhite for probably 4 years. I've had the case for like 3 months, but I've had this for about 4 years. And I've had this Kobo for about 2 years. The reason I have both is because I don't especially like Amazon. I don't like to get my books from Amazon if I can get them from someplace else. But I have a lot of books that were from Amazon on my Kindle. And Kindle is kind of proprietary. You have a Kindle book, you can really only read it on a Kindle or a Kindle app. Kobo, you can't read Kindle books on your Kobo, but you can get books from elsewhere. Now, if you're wondering which one you should get, I'm not going to tell you because there are pros and cons to both of them. But let's walk through my particular devices first. I'm going to try and do this without dropping it like I did before. So I'm going to open this Kindle, and right there we're on an ad for the Dragon and the Mother, bedtime stories for kids and adults. And then I swipe to get to my library. Sometimes when I open this, it takes a little while. It says waking up before it gives me that screen, like 30 seconds of waking up. But this is what the library looks like on my Kindle Paperwhite. I also have created, so if I go into, well, this is what the homepage looks like, I should say. This is the library. Come on. There we go. So my library, I've created a lot of collections that I can sort out my books. Like the NetGalleys that I am no longer counting because I have broken up with NetGalley. Now, I'm going to open up my Kobo. I've got to be really quick about this one because it moves pretty quickly. Open up my Kobo. Oh, it went really fast. Let's try it again. You're going to first see the book that I was last reading. No, you're not. Let's try this again. There you go, Les Miserables. And then it goes to the last screen that I was on, which was my homepage. Personally, I don't use my homepage that much on Kobo. I usually just go to my books. Now, on my books, it just has a list of books. If you can create collections on Kobo, I don't know how to do it. It just has read, unread, reading. This is my reading page. I have too many books. I'm not reading all these books. But the most recent book I read was Les Miserables, so that's there. If you notice, this woke up and got me to where I wanted to be a lot faster than this did. Again, don't know about the newer model Kindles. I am actually going to be upgrading this one the next time they have a Prime Day and they're on sale. I'm going to get a newer model of this because the other issue is, and this could be because of the age of this model, this has about twice the battery life as this one. So, as I said before, on on Kindles, you can read Kindle books. Yes, you can send in PDFs and a couple other files. It's a little bit complicated to do that. It involves sending it to an address or going to a certain page and uploading it. On a Kobo, you can pretty much read anything except a Kindle book. So obviously, these do not play well together. But there are benefits to both. One thing I do want to point out, which is not a benefit for either one, it does not put one on another, is that people often talk about Kindle sales and you can get books really cheap. Yes, you can. Those sales also happen on Kobo. You just go to the Kobo site, they're the same price. If a book's $1.99 on Kindle, it's probably going to be $1, usually, not always, but usually going to be $1.99 on Kobo. So if you're basing this on where you're going to get cheaper books, it doesn't really matter. However, if you are a Kindle Unlimited user, which I am not, but if you are, and you want to read on an e-reader, it's going to have to be a Kindle. You can't really use those with Kobo unless there's some secret I don't know about. Now, if you are someone who checks books, ebooks out of the library through Libby, this is a lot easier to use than this. Now, I actually use them both because one thing, while this is a lot easier, it only holds, as far as I can tell, space for one library, and I have 3 library cards. So if I check out on my main card, on my card at my local library, it goes straight here, easy peasy. If it's from one of the other libraries, I have to send it to this one. So another difference is the way if you let me pull up a book here. Okay, there was a jump because I couldn't get to a book that I had downloaded, but we're gonna open Brooklyn, which is the last book that I read on here. And it's opening it. I'm not gonna cut this out because I think it's important to see that it takes its time to go on here. Okay, let me go back a bit. So here I have this on night view. You can do this. I have not figured out how to do this on my Kobo, but I do like this view on my Kindle. There's nothing really around the page, but I can tap down here and I can get the page, which is like the Kobo page, not the book page, and the percentage, tap again, and get like the duration left in the chapter and the duration left in the book, okay? So in my Kobo, opens right up to Les Mis. I'm gonna go back a couple pages in Les Mis so I don't lose my spot. I'm already on Les Mis. We got there a lot faster. Here it has pages. These are Kobo pages left in the chapter, left in the book, and then I can tap up here, and then on this little bar here. Oops, it's hard to do it from the single. And here it gives me time left. You see, I have 29 and a half hours left in this book. It's a long one. So that's where I get my stats from it. So you can get the same stats from it. Let me go back to where I left off. There we go. So if you are a Libby user and you want an e-reader that works really well with Libby, you're going to want a Kobo. The other thing that I have noticed, and this just might be from my library, is that all books that I can get on Libby through my library can go on my Kobo, but not all can go on my Kindle. Every once in a while I'll come up to a book they don't have a Kindle version of. If you are a NetGalley reader, this one, you want a Kindle. It's a lot easier. Actually, I've never quite figured out. And I haven't needed to because I do have a Kindle, but it is apparently more complicated to get a NetGalley book on a Kobo. So those are my deals. My first thing is if you are looking for an e-reader, first thing to ask, I say the first thing to ask yourself is, are you okay buying from Amazon? This should not be, because if you are, you can only get this from Amazon. However, you can get a Kobo from the Kobo site. You can get them at, I think they sell them at Walmart. I actually bought my Kobo off Amazon. I felt like really rebellious doing that, buying a Kobo from Amazon. But yeah, it's easier to get a Kobo. I mean, there are more places to get a Kobo than there is to get a Kindle. I do think the price point is a little bit higher for this than this. When I edit this, I'm going to put the price of this or the recent model of this and the price of this so you can compare. I should have checked that beforehand and I didn't. So the first thing is, like, if you're someone who wants to stay away from Amazon, you're going to want a Kobo. Now, if you're someone who does Kindle Unlimited, you're going to want a Kindle. If you're someone who does NetGalley, a lot of NetGalley, you're going to want a Kindle. But if you're someone who's a big library ebook user, Kobo. So really, you need to go and think about it. Now, as I've said, I prefer my Kobo. I think it's easier. I just think the font on it, it's easier to read. Turn over there. It's much faster turning on and off and getting to where I want to go with it. The interface is a lot easier, and the battery power is longer. However, that might be because of the age of this. So there you go. That's my read. You choose whatever works for you. It really depends on what you're going to be using your e-reader for. But I do think it's important to kind of know the pros and cons of both. You choose. If you are interested in a Kindle, you have to get it from Amazon, but they do Prime Days throughout the year. They do good sales on their Kindles on Prime Days, which is why I'm waiting to upgrade this one. And Kobo, just shop around and see what you get for a good price. There are newer and better in that does more things models of both of these. So also I would say, what do you read? If you read a lot of like graphic novels or manga, both of these are now coming out with both a color Kindle and a color, I believe the color Kindle and a color Kobo. That might be for you. I will link down below. It's not a Kindle or a Kobo, but Criminal recently did a review of a color e-reader, but I don't think it was a Kindle or a Kobo, but I'll link that one down below. And so first of all, figure out what you're going to use it for. Figure out if you're okay using Amazon. Because if you're someone who doesn't want to use Amazon, I respect that, but you're going to want to get a Kobo. Also, here's another thing. If you want a book, if you're someone who's going to be reading on your e-reader, but also maybe switching over to reading like an app on your phone, the Kobo app is not good. Then you're going to want a Kindle. So you really, it's worth weighing both of them. For what I read, really, I have this to finish off the Kindle books that I still own, that I haven't read, and to get the library books that come from other libraries. But this is my main reader. I don't know if that helped anybody, but I see this question over and over again, so I thought I'm just going to put this out here in apparently a hopefully coherent form. I don't know. But then again, hey, you might be great reading on your iPad or whatever tablet, and that's wonderful. I think that you just need to find what works for you. And for me, it's an e-reader. I prefer this one, but I use both. So let me know, do you do something else to read ebooks? If you read ebooks, not everybody reads ebooks, and that's understandable as well. Let me know. And if you use something other than these, like if you use a Nook or one of these other ones that are out there that it's not Kindle or Kobo, let me know about it, because I'm always interested in hearing about things like that to see what else is out there besides the big two. So thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, join my Discord. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.